All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to move on to talking about measures of central tendency. Central tendency means how do they look in the middle? And we have two very common ones that we use. The most two common are mean and median. Median we already know is the middle. And mean is the average. Last year we also talked about mode, which is the one that appears most often. That isn't used as much when we're talking about numerical data. So a survey was taken among 12 people on the number of passwords they currently have. The results in ascending order, so thankfully they put them in order for us. So we want to state the median number of passwords and the mean number. So my median is again the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my median is halfway between 2 and 3, which is going to be 2.5. My mean, right? Mean means the average. So you have to add them up and divide by however many there are. So we have it helps if I turn the calculator on. Sorry. So let's see. 3 plus 4 plus 12. 15. So we had 29 numbers, and it already told us that there were 12 in the data set. So that gives me rounded 2.4 is the number. The closer your mean, median, and mode are to each other, the more centrally located your data set is. Like it's all very close in the center. You don't have any weird outliers usually. All right, so here's one now where it's given to us in a frequency table. And the problem here is that the number of cars changes. So this really means if I add these up to find the total number of cars, so let's see, there's 3, 7, 12, 15, 17, 19, there's 20 cars altogether, which means halfway in between is going to be between the 10th and the 11th number. Well, if I start adding here to get the median, so here's the 1 car plus 2 more is 3. I'm going to just keep writing these over here. 4 more is 7 cars. 5 more is 12. So the median, right, it's going to be between the 10th and the 11th. Here is your median. And if I made a big list, I could have done that and shown you. But by now we should be able to understand how we're getting it from the chart. So when I do my mean, this is really a 29 because I'm multiplying 29 and 1. This is going to be 66, 33 times 2. The 34 is going to be 136. 35 times 5 is 175. 36 times 3, 108. 76, 78, and 54. So these are the numbers that I'm going to add and then I'm going to divide up by my 20 cars. So again, I'm doing this all completely on my calculator, although some I was able to do in my head, which makes me happy. Oops. So when I added those, and please double check because I'm trying to do this fast here so the video isn't taking forever, I got 722, and again divided by our 20 cars. It asks, just asks for the mean, so it does not ask for it to be, oh, probably because it was 36.1. So the mean speed of the cars is 36.1, the median, the middle number is 35. All right, the speed limit along this part of the highway is 35 miles per hour. Based on your results from part A, is it fair to make a conclusion that the average driver does speed on this roadway? I would say no, because it's only 1 mile over. And most people do not consider 1 mile over the speed limit to be speeding. This person certainly was definitely speeding over the limit. Okay, let's take a look at the next page here, see what we have going on. When conducting a statistical study, it is not always possible to obtain information about every person or situation to which the study applies. Unlike a census in which every person is counted, some do a sample or a portion, and we talked about those last year. Whenever a sample is taken, it is vital that it is fair In other words, the sample reflects the overall population. So, to determine which television programs are the most popular in a large city, a poll is conducted by selecting a sample of people at random and interviewing them. Outside which of the following locations would the interviewer be most likely to find a fair sample? Explain your choice and why the others are inappropriate. So I would say a grocery store, and here's why. A baseball stadium is probably going to be mostly people who like sports because they're at a sporting event. A concert hall is probably going to be people who basically like music or some type of performing arts. A comedy club is going to have people who like comedy, so they're probably going to like comedies on TV. So a grocery store is going to be, there's neutral, and I realize there are definitely some shows about groceries and food, but they're not as many. So I would say the grocery store. Calculate the mean, median, and I want you to try this one, so I'm going to pause the video. I want you to pause it. Try calculating the mean and the median, and then is your data set a fair sample? So we'll come back to that one. Do your work, check your answers. Okay, so going through, you should have come up with a median of 74.5, a mean of 74.6. So that's really great that those are close together. However, it wants to know, is the data set above a fair sample to use? And if you read it, he took the heights of 14 players from his basketball team. So is it a fair sample for the average height of high school male students? No, because those people who play basketball tend to be a little bit taller, right? When you look around high school teams, college teams, professional teams, those are, you know, your tall players because they need to be to play the game. Okay, outliers are numbers which are which do not represent the true average, so they're usually far away, right? So there's another vocabulary word. So I want you to calculate the mean and the median, and then I want you to know, I want you to talk about outliers. So again, pause the video and then come back and check. Okay, so in this problem we had 8 numbers, so the median is between the 4th and the 5th. So right in between 85 and 87 is 86. When I added them up, I got 654 divided by my 8, and it was 81.75. What score is an outlier? The 45 is an outlier. It's pretty far away from the other numbers in your data set. Excuse me. Which value, the mean or the median, is a better representation? The median, because the 45, this number, because it's so much lower, is going to make your mean lower, right? There's almost a, there's a 4.25 point difference there. So the median is going to be more representative. I think that's it for today. Yep. So any questions? As always, bring them to class. Hopefully this was, again, just a big review from last year.